Were ancient Egyptians black? Let's look at the evidence. Ancient Egypt is one of the most fascinating periods in our human history, and it has been studied for thousands of years. Although we have many surviving artifacts from this time period, there is still much speculation about what ancient Egyptians actually looked like. In Western drama productions, Egyptians are often portrayed with white or brown skin. But is this actually accurate? Or were ancient Egyptians black? Let's look into the history of ancient Egypt to find out more. Ancient Egyptians were likely to be ethnically diverse. Historical evidence from Egyptian texts, artworks, and mummies suggests ancient Egypt was always ethnically diverse, so could not be classed as belonging to any one racial category. But it is worth noting that the skin color distinctions we have today didn't exist in ancient Egypt. Instead, they simply classified themselves by the regions where they lived. Scholarly research suggests there were many different skin colors across Egypt, including what we now call white, brown, and black. But this is still a subject of much debate. Many believe skin colors varied between different regions of Egypt, such as Lower Egypt, Upper Egypt, and Nubia. Because ancient Egyptians were around for about 3,000 years, it is also highly likely that changes in ethnicity took place throughout this long time span. Evidence reveals there were many black ancient Egyptians. Some historians, archaeologists, and writers over the years have argued that ancient Egypt was a predominantly black civilization, populated by sub-Saharan Africans. Their research shows how ancient Egyptians once called the land of Egypt and the entire African continent Kemet, meaning land of the black people. Some scholars even argue that all black people are descended from ancient Egypt. Michael Jackson's 1991 music video for Remember the Time is one of the most popular and widespread allusions to this interpretation of history. Prominent black ancient Egyptians. There is much evidence showing how ancient Egypt was ruled and governed by various prominent black leaders. One is the powerful nobleman Maiherpri, who was alive during the reign of Thutmose IV. After his death, he was buried in the Valley of the Kings. We know of his skin color from his mummy and from illustrated manuscripts, in which he appears darker skinned than the more widely circulated images of Egyptians. It is believed he may be Nubian or of Nubian descent. Queen Ahmose-Nefertari is also often identified as black, and according to contemporary Egyptologist Sigrid Hodelhones, her skin color was worshipped because it echoed the color of both the fertile earth and the netherworld and death. It is thought Lady Rai, a lady-in-waiting to Queen Nefertari, was also black. Her mummy is in remarkably good condition and reveals her dark skin and braided hair. Some ancient Egyptians were from the Eastern Mediterranean and Near East. The suggestion that some Egyptians were of Eastern Mediterranean descent ties in with the brown skin color in many surviving Egyptian artworks and artifacts. These include the wall paintings from Tutankhamun's tomb, in which figures have skin with an umber tone, and the Book of the Dead of Hunefer, which features brown-toned skin colors. Of course, these skin colors were also the artistic fashion, and somewhat dictated to by the available pigments to hand.